Alright guys, thank you for checking in Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. We're going to have our daily weather update right now, and boy, it is going to get cold like it's nobody's business in the eastern U.S. Currently, we've already got strong northwest winds swinging on in. We've also got the nor'easter exiting into mid-Atlantic Canada that we did deal with for 2 days. Here you can see what's essentially happening is that it's just going to get really, really cold here. Big trough dipping in for this morning. We've had snow and mixed precipitation being reported already as far south as Atlanta, Georgia, and those kind of reports are going to continue into Saturday, as I'm expecting possible frost as far south, frost and freezes as possible as far south as Atlanta and Savannah, Georgia, for Sunday into Saturday. So a very impressive event. Here's my graphic showing you exactly what I'm expecting. Along with the killing freeze, we're also going to have those northwest winds that will lead to lake effect snow, probably 1 to 3 inches, with less amounts in some spots. There could also be 2 to 4 inches along the upslope areas of the Appalachians, where we do get those upslope snows coming in, which is where we do have the best chance for the for higher accumulations. Not a huge deal though, and some folks might get disappointed by this event. We'll be waiting for our real snowstorm. It could be upon us by next week, but we're going to have details on that in just a second. Let's take a look at what's happening by the time we make our way out to Monday. You can see that the general pattern here is, and it keeps, for some reason, it keeps freezing the graphic, but okay, here we go. There's going to be a storm that passes well east of the East Coast, and what happens is as it moves into Atlantic Canada by Monday, it's going to start backing west into coastal Ontario or eastern Ontario, and because of that, there could be a mixed precip/snowstorm event across Maine. It would be pretty rare for this time of year, but not impossible. Otherwise, there's also going to be a storm by Monday starting to make its way into the Pacific Northwest. Heavy rain, heavy snow in the higher elevations, and a cold front as this reinforcing cool air starts to break down this um, this huge ridge that we've had, and it's one of 2 troughs and 2 storms that will eventually start to weaken. Here you see the second one is coming in, and what essentially happens here as this as this cool air and this what's left of the Pacific Northwest storm moves in here by Tuesday, what essentially happens here is it ends up becoming a relative snowstorm for the Rocky Mountains, which is not unusual for this time of year, and deepens it to a 1,000 millibar low pressure, possibly blizzard conditions, spreading back up into, I'm going to try to get this graphic right here, spreading back up into the western Dakotas and even into Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Canada, would be not not out of the realm of cards. Pretty typical for this time of year. By Wednesday, another Pacific Northwest storm coming in here, starting to make its impact. Now these storms are going to continue to track further south. This one will probably have more bark than its bite than the one that's coming through on Monday. Looks like just an extended period of rain and thunderstorms, and just a nasty day out there through the day on Wednesday for the Pacific Northwest, although I think the state of Washington might actually be a little bit drier than places like California into southern and central Oregon. Now what happens behind the storm is a very important setup, and one is that is conducive for snowstorms. It has already created a snowstorm earlier this year. Warm Ridge, this is about 140 hours out. Warm Ridge in the east, building ridge back into the west, as that Pacific Northwest storm slammed into California. Now we got cooler air from the northern Pacific starting to spread into the west. As this setup becomes evident, we're seeing a trough digging into the central U.S. With what's left of that Pacific Northwest storm, low pressure center is stationed in the southern plains. Look at the GFS. That low pressure center stationed in the southern plains becomes a big snowstorm. We're talking about possible blizzard conditions for the northern plains. Also becomes a major severe weather outbreak. Or, I'm sorry, I should probably move the map northward for you guys to see it, right? Let's go back here for a second so you can see what I'm talking about. Major snowstorm for the plains. Also a significant severe weather outbreak for the Ohio Valley. And even in a major Yazoo type outbreak for Dixie Alley in the southeastern United States, even behind the storm as it moves up to the Great Lakes. So this would not be out of the realm of cards. It's certainly not impossible. We've already seen the Midwest Super Bomb. Again, these two patterns of ridge on either side, trough in the middle, and a shortwave riding are commonly conducive for big storms. But it's a little while out there, so we'll just have to see whether or not this whole thing pans out. Thanks for checking in the Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please spread the word about our website and have a great day.